This is one of the reasons why people don't like doing these. It's because you have to use this piece of wire to hold the thing inside the cylinder, and it's the anxiety or the fear of dropping that inside the cylinder, because if you do that, you ruined it. You've got to get a new one. So this bit here, trust in it that when you let it go inside like that, you're just relying on that flimsy little bit of wire to stop it from disappearing forever. What's up guys, happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in to my latest video, The Life of a Jobbing Plumber. I think this week I've got 3 smallish jobs that I hope you'll find either useful or you'll learn something from. And there's a little bit about getting a free website from Tradify. That's really interesting, so check that out. And at the end of this week's video, I was at Lawton Tubes recently and I interviewed the guy. His name's Jack, and in lockdown he started making copper hearts. He now makes so much money doing that. He quit his job as a plumber and he does it full time. The reason I thought it would be useful is if you're an apprentice and you're watching this and you've got some spare time, you want to earn some cash, you've got all the facilities to make a copper heart and a huge imagination. There's so many things you can make out of copper. It's a viable business that you could start making things and selling them, like on Facebook and eBay and things like that. Speaking to him, he said one weekend he made about 4 grand just making copper hearts. So that's at the end of the video. Quite interesting, watch that. And then just before the video starts, obviously you can see the 2 caps behind me. Installer show this year, I'll be designing another cap for this year's show, which I'll be doing very soon, but they've currently got free tickets, free sign up. So there's a link in my video so you can get free tickets to Installer show. It's in June, I think. So sign up, get your free ticket, and then obviously if it comes to June you can't make it, that's fine. But get your free ticket now. All you need to do is add in your name and address, company details, stuff like that. You don't have to be a plumber to go. Obviously it's for plumbers, but if you're thinking about changing careers, there's so much you can learn from Installer show. All the brands are there, boiler companies, plumbing companies. It's going to be massive. It's at the NEC. And like I say, free tickets, so click the link. Hope you enjoy this week's video. Cheers guys. Right, hopefully a few of you will find this interesting. Customer supplying his own digital shower mixer, so shower pump in the loft. And we need a dedicated hot supply for that. We can't tee off the hot outlet from above the cylinder. Reason for that is, if you do that, there's a chance of getting air in your shower pump, and the #1 killer of a shower pump is air. So we've got a dedicated supply, gives the shower its warranty. I'm going for an Essex flange because I can't fit a Surrey flange on the top because that's a soldered connection in the top of that cylinder. So if you've never seen one of these before, I know people don't like doing them because they're a bit fiddly, but basically we're going to be installing this into the side of our copper cylinder, which means we're going to be drilling a hole into the side of it. So it should be quite interesting if you've never seen this done before. I'll probably just let you watch as I do it. Basically, I chose the location I wanted, top third of the cylinder, cut a square in the foam to expose the surface that I'm going to drill, and I've marked up exactly where I want to drill it, and I'll let you watch the rest. So just to give you a little view of this, this is one of the reasons why people don't like doing these. It's because you have to use this piece of wire to hold the thing inside the cylinder, and it's the anxiety or the fear of dropping that inside the cylinder, because if you do that, you ruined it. You've got to get a new one. So this bit here, trusting it, but when you let it go inside like that, you're just relying on that flimsy little bit of wire to stop it from disappearing forever. When you get to this point, that the anxiety is over, the relief sets in. And one of the hardest things is to get this piece of wire out. So don't make the mistake I did trying to like poke a screwdriver in and flick it out the way, because you'll be doing it for ages. I can't tell you how long I spent trying to do it this way. The best way is to just get a piece of copper, because it's thicker. Push it in, and it should pull straight out. Like that. There we go. I don't know about you, but any time I do anything like this, where there's a chance that it could leak and cause me problems, the first thing I want to do is get it filled up and check it. So I've shut the drain cock off. I'm going to press this. I've got a street elbow into it, reduced down to 15mm, because that's all I need, a 15mm. And at the time of filming this, I just got this press tool. Novapress sent me it with my name on, so I was just showing that off. And I've got my name on the jaws as well. Such a show off. So press that in and then get the water back on so I can fill it up and check it, because then I know that at the end of the job it's all take this all to pieces again. So pressing that with that isolation valve on. There's the tool again. Yeah, it's great, Pete. Lovely, nice grey colour. Wow. So with that isolated, water back on, and then I can check this is all okay before we then move on to the next part of the job. As soon as I hear the water start to flow out of the basin tap, shut that off, and now we know that our cylinder is full. So just want to check, you know, the paranoia, being a plumber, if it can leak, it will leak, but that's all good, no drips there. So now we can crack on to the next stage. So obviously I've got to get our 15mm hot supply up through into the roof. So I've chose a gap in between the slats, drilled my hole up, and now I want to get a full length of copper, one bend and then straight up. Using these Monument benders. Now, funny story about these. I don't mind them. I prefer my normal scissor bender, but I don't mind them. There's nothing wrong with them. I took these to Africa with me because they're so easy to get in your kit bag. I thought I'll get them in my suitcase. I left them there, so I don't own these anymore. And there's a guy in Africa bending pipe with them as we speak. So I got my bend on. That's going into that valve we've just put in, and then extending up into the loft. And then the rest of the work now is going to be in the loft. That's that cupboard done. That's full, ready to turn that on when we're ready to use the shower. So we'll go up in the loft now. So up in the loft, we've got the hot and cold supply to the current showering ensuite, which is just the bar shower mixer of the Gravity. And those pipes run diagonally across the loft. So we're going to get them out of the way and also pipe it up properly, because that one tees in with the vent, which I'll show you in a minute. So we're going to move them, tidy it up, and obviously we can't have that hot feed coming off the vent because it's going onto a new digital mixer shower pump. So that's what I've got to do up here. Just crawl through to show you. So this is our hot feed here. You can see it tees in onto this pipe, which goes up and is our vent. So that's from the hot water cylinder. So the height of the water in the tank will be, say, here. So there'll be water in this pipe to here. So the shower's being fed from that. But if they put a digital mixer on this with a pump, it's going to suck that. It's going to just suck a load of air in from there, so it's not right. Here's my new 15 supply. Now what I'm going to do is, because this is just a piece of 50mm copper, no point wasting it, so obviously there's a bend there. I'm going to cut that where it's straight there. I'm going to reuse this piece. It goes all the way where I need it, and then I'm just going to move it over to here. So we'll have an elbow, piece of copper coming this way, elbow onto that, and just tidy it up. And that's as much as he wanted me to do, get him a new hot and cold supply ready for him to fit his new digital mixer when he's ready to crack on with his ensuite shower room. Alright guys, you might find this really useful. I put this on my Instagram story and it was so popular. If you're running your business and you've not got a website, Tradeify have got a free website option. So Tradeify, if you don't know, and I've talked about this loads, it's a job management software, so you can book jobs in for you, your staff. You can link it to your account software, so you can send quotes, invoices, link it all together. You can basically run your whole business through Tradeify, but the option they've got is for a free website. Now, I hadn't done it, but I saw someone else talking about it, so I checked it, and it's here. If I click that, and it just, when I first clicked it, it said generating website, and it will literally use your information you put in. So my company name, my phone number, my email address, it knows it all. It knows I'm a plumbing company, so it generated this, I guess using AI, but this is the website. So a little overview about me, the services I offer, pictures of work. Obviously that's not my work, but that's things you change yourself. Customer testimonials, so any customers can leave you reviews, contact page, and then a contact form. And then basically they'll host this for free for you. So then any inquiries you get, you give out your website, it comes straight to you at Tradeify, to your email address. And to customize it, so if you got, say, half an hour on a Sunday, it gives you your website address, and then you can add as many images as you want. You can change your services, so obviously the services that they assume I offer are in there, but you can change them to whatever you want. All your pictures there, add them all in. I reckon in an hour you could have a pretty kick-ass website, and it's free. So if you want to try it, I'll put a link in the description, because you can do a 14-day free trial. So do your 14-day trial, set it up, get yourself a free website, see what you think, and then if you want to carry on with it, which I can't see why you wouldn't, because the actual app Tradeify is awesome. You can use it on your laptop, your tablet, your phone. You can do your gas certificates on it. Definitely worth checking out. Right, little first fix job from my mate Jeff. My name is Jeff. So he's ran some Speedfit pipe. Originally he just ran these two, which are lagged, and he made a loop. So he's gone all the way over there. Just steer up. And then he's gone back past just here, all the way back to there. And he assumed I could just tee into that one pipe, one drop there for the rad there, and the same there. But I explained to him that wouldn't work, because your flow is going to come up to that rad, and then to this rad, and then back up to that rad, like a one pipe system. So he's dragged an extra pipe through there, that white one that's not bagged. So now we've got a flow and return at each rad. All I'm gonna do is, I've just bent 4 bits of copper, so the bend's gonna be in the ceiling void there, and then soldered elbow so it's nice and tight to the wall. This has been dot and dabbed, and then 2 tails there and there. Obviously got a vertical rad there, a normal rad there, and then if I move this Celotex, that's the original heating circuit there. So I've got to get onto that, up to these, and then there's another rad under here. Got all this pipe work here and put tails in the wall. You see there's chases there and there for a rad there. So that's the job. So what I'm going to do now, excuse me, is now I've bent these all to the right length and cut them to the right length, I'm going to solder 90s on, and then we're going to wrap the pipes and then just pin them into those channels, so then that can be dot and dabbed. Yeah, that's the job. Okay, so bent the end that's going in the ceiling void, and then we've got the tails ready to solder. I'm using these soldering fittings. I got these free from Lawton's. I don't use soldering fittings, never have. I don't know if it's just something you pick up from whoever you did your apprenticeship with, whether you use these or not, or whether it's like a where you live thing, whether they're more common in certain areas, but I've never used these before. So my question is, if you're using soldering fittings, do you just heat them up and the solder that's in them, or do you add solder onto the outside? Because I don't use them, I'm adding some solder anyway. Am I wasting my time? Should I add solder? Do you add solder? Let me know in the comments. So that's the 2 for this drop here, wrapped, and then I'm just going to offer them in, nail clip them on, and then we just need to sort out the plastic above to connect onto them. Jeff's just wrapping them. That's the one for that wall there. Hey, good boy. Good boy. Leah doesn't like him though. I love him. And then a few months later, still no rads, but they got me back in to pipe up the gas to the cooker. So the stage is at, the kitchen's going in, he's tiled the floor, obviously he's plastered and painted, ceiling's done, it all looks good. The pipes are there ready and waiting for a rad. I'm hoping that the centres he chased the walls up were right, because it's finished now, but yeah, there's the pipes I installed, first fix, ready for the rads. Just here to service the boiler, and the lady just mentioned about the temperature of the hot water. So it could be an issue with the plate, but it also could be, well, you can't see, but it's snowing outside today, so it's really cold. So what I'm going to do, just quickly, and I can show the customer this, is using my Testo smart probes. Now I have got 2, but this one's broken, so I'm just going to be using this one. But basically, come out of that, get the app on your phone, open the app, and you'll get greeted with this blank screen, and then whichever smart probe you use, whether you're using the clamp or thermometer or anything, as soon as you turn it on, it will find your phone. So you can see there we've got the temperature. Now what I'm going to do is pop this on the cold, and that's going to give me my incoming cold main temperature. So just give that a second. So we're going to call that probably about 6.9 degrees, 7 degrees. Yeah, happy with that, 6.9. So that's the incoming cold main. Now I'm going to put on the hot outlet and see what the boiler's giving us. Got this on max. So this is the hot water temperature now. So if we get to 46.9, that'll mean we're getting a 40 degree temperature rise, which is more than adequate on a combi boiler. So we've already gone past that. Normally they quote you in the instruction manuals at a 35-degree rise, depending on the litres per minute. So obviously the faster the water's coming through, the less rise, the slower the water, the more rise. What I will show you is this info in the manual. So using my phone on site, I just searched up the instruction manual for a Baxi Platinum combi boiler, and I'm in the technical data section, and this will list all the technical data for every model of this boiler. So the 24 kilowatt combi all the way up to a 40 kilowatt combi. Really useful section to look at, especially when you're looking at flow rates and temperature rises. Now you'll notice they give you two different tables here. They give you a 30-degree rise and a 35-degree rise. The reason they give you two is so that they can manipulate it when they're trying to sell you the boiler. So if I was working for Baxi, I could say, right, our 33 kilowatt combi is capable of giving you 15.7 litres per minute of hot water, which sounds great, but that's only at a 30-degree rise. At a 35-degree rise, it's only 13.5 litres per minute. Well, what sounds better to you if you're trying to sell someone a boiler? 15.7 litres per minute of hot water sounds better. And that's why they do it. It's a bit naughty, but they all do it, so just double check. But you can see there a 24 kilowatt combi at a 30-degree rise, 11.4 litres per minute. If you want to get a 35-degree rise out of that 24 kilowatt combi, you're only going to get less than 10 litres per minute out of your tap. So it's always something to make sure you check. So we're going to call that, say, about 52 degrees. So take that 6.9 off there, and that tells you the temperature rise you're getting. So that's performing really well. If you weren't getting your expected rise, it could be an issue with the plate. It could be that your gas, you've not got enough gas, it's not burning enough gas to heat the water. It could be that your flow rate, you're running out of bathtub at the minute on full. If it was say you were getting 20 litres per minute out of your tap, you're obviously not going to get a 35-degree rise from your boiler. But just a nice, quick way of showing your customer that there isn't an issue and everything's working okay. I'm here today at Lawton Tubes with Jack from Copper Hearts UK. Now I first met Jack, or I first knew about Jack, on Instagram, just a plumber like me, doing work, putting videos out about plumbing, and then all of a sudden he's got into making copper hearts and all kinds of creation, so we're going to hear his story. So mate, I was following you, you were doing the same as me, plumber on Instagram, and then tell me what happened and how you got into doing what you're doing now.
So obviously, you know your way around a copper heart. I saw your video online on Instagram of making the copper hearts, Feb 2020. And I saw it and I didn't make them at first, but then I just started my business December 2019. Bad time, because March 2020 it was going into lockdown. Saw your video and thought I'd make a few copper hearts and just give them out to like the neighbours locally to me. And so one night I made about 8 or so, attached a little note basically saying, oh, I'm trying to lift, you know, the spirits of everyone. And then lo and behold, I put them outside on their doorsteps one evening. Next morning they woke up, saw it, saw the note, started putting them all up outside on the front of their houses. And at first I was like, I didn't expect that. Okay, and then I messaged you.
I remember.
And I said, oh look what people have done. And then the whole area just wanted to get involved. So from being a new business that couldn't furlough myself, came from that and just grew into what it is now with all the flowers and all the different, you know, you can personalise it.
How did it progress from the hearts to the other stuff?
Saw there was a little bit of a niche in the market and thought, I can do something here. It was like, okay, what can I do next?
So we've got the Thistle here, it's a bit of a showstopper. Do you want to talk us through the sort of work and the method that goes into something like that?
Bit of 28mm pipe, let's just cut it down the middle, reverse it, flatten it all out. As you can see, that was a piece of pipe before. Solder it all together, you know, flatten it out and then just make it spiky. And then on the top was, rather than make it spiky, you just do it the other way around, and just trying to think outside the box and use these materials on how to create these gifts for people.
What's your favourite thing you've ever made?
I love making the copper roses. They were first created using 28mm tube. not so much now. I use sheet material, but they never looked like this before. This one needs finishing off, which we're going to do. Bit of 8mm pipe, some leaves just to go in there. Obviously I've personalised it, that you can see there.
Yeah, it's cool.
So people can come along and have like a name, dates or whatever, make perfect gifts for weddings, you know, memorials, birthdays. It kind of covers the whole spectrum.
So your average plumber is not going to be able to knock up, you know, a copper rose like that.
No.
I suppose the beauty of it is when you're practicing, seeing what you can make out of copper.
Yeah.
The beauty of it is if you go wrong, it goes in the scrap bin.
Yeah.
It gets remade into a tube, and then you go again
Yeah.
on your next thing. And what about the limitations of it? When I'm thinking of like when I did my Christmas tree or the things I do for Valentine's Day, you have all these ideas in your head, but then you've got to think, right, can I physically make that out of this pipe?
What you can do with, you know, a piece of 15mm and 22mm, you can only go so far. This is why I try and incorporate some of the flower stands with the pipe to kind of join it all together, make it, you know, a bit of a whole gift, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you haven't lost that Copper Hearts touch.
Yeah.
And that's why it's called Copper Heart, because it kind of started that way.
Yeah.
I've just, yeah, kept it going. And
So you must be really proud of what you've achieved.
yeah, I mean, from, you know, having a business that was about to kind of almost fail and drop on its knees, to having something that was almost blessed on me. Of course I'm proud of it. Like,
Yeah.
I am proud of it. It just stems from ideas and the message behind it, and I can't really say much more apart from, you know, thank you to people that follow it and,
Yeah.
and want to buy it.
That's one of the things I love most about social media, the communities you have on Instagram, Facebook. We can all learn off each other. I'm forever learning off other engineers how to do the job, what tools to use, even down to how I rack my van out. And obviously you've benefited from social media, you've seen something, you've ran with it, and now you've got...
Yeah, I mean, I was going in the same circles as you. I was learning so much from Instagram, you know,
Yeah.
for a business that was just starting to take off for me. You know, I learned a lot from your videos. I was following it and
Yeah.
watching them all and stuff, and it was just a bit of a freak blip that just changed for me, and I just went with it.
So have you got any plans for the future? Is it more of the same, or have you got some big new designs you're going to be unleashing for 2024?
2024, I'd like to work with different materials other than just copper. It'd be nice to work with some different ones like brass and things like that, but when I've got a bit more time. Next
Next Christmas, I'll get Robert Lawton over and he can be your elf, help you out in the workshop.
Okay, is he any good?
Not really.
You're the